Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Foot Birthday is the talk of the town right now in FC 26, as not only the leaks are flying in from basically everywhere, but EA themselves are getting involved in the conversation, dropping a super revealing loading screen right here in game. We're going to cover everything that you need to know and what we know so far about this highly anticipated promo of Foot Birthday, and of course how it's sure to make player prices move, especially because we have a huge SBC leak. One of the most meta midfielders in the game is getting an SBC, and midfielder prices are already dropping, but fodder prices are going up. And we have to, of course, look at today's content on Tuesday as well, as it is the first day for games that will upgrade the Fantasy FC Live, aka the FPL cards like Aronson, Tell, Jimenez, Dewsbury Hall, and all the others. Today's the last day to get these before content. Make sure you do that. And those games start today for those cards as well. And other fantasy news, of course, is the upgrades that we're expecting for cards like Cancelo going up +1. Cards like Bruno Fernandes getting a triple upgrade today. Ethan Wanyere getting an upgrade as well. We're going to look at those cards and the market and what else to expect today on a Tuesday. Guys, if you're excited for Foot Birthday, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now let's dive into yesterday's content first to start off the video by looking at the best content from yesterday on Monday. That was the Ultimate Gauntlet, because guys, once again, the most fun mode in the game gives really good pack rewards for just at minimum playing 6 games, and at the most scoring in 12. Complete 9 of the 10 objectives here, basically score in 12 or win 6 Gauntlet games to get yourself a whole host of good packs, a first touch plus to 2 playstyle pluses, max 87 evolution, which isn't too crazy, but you know, it's usable, and then the Odsonne Edouard Fantasy FC Live card. And that's just the basic objective. Of course, there's also the bonus objective that gives the really good packs: an 85 by 10, 85 by 5, 86 by 4, and an 86 by 6. And while this is a bit of a competitive mode, there are 14 entries that everybody gets, and of course 3 games every single entry. So 42 games in total to try to end up winning a perfect round, to win 6 matches, or at least get a couple of wins and complete most of that objective. Even if you're not going to complete the entire Gauntlet objective, it is really easy to get like the play games part of it, maybe get a couple of wins and, you know, score in 6 matches. And there's some decent packs that are even in this first couple of objectives here that I think is worth doing. And still, I have so much fun playing the Gauntlet. I'm looking forward to playing it in the next couple of days, the next week that it is out. Now, content yesterday in Evolutions was not as exciting as the Gauntlet, at least in my opinion, for the reinforced Evo. And guys, before we even talk about this Evo, if you take a look on Footbin, it is 96% downvoted. But we're going to talk about why. First of all, it's the requirements. Max 86 overall. We are done with max 86 Evos. And also, max 1 playstyle plus. That means, since this gives Enforcer Plus as a second PS Plus, any card that has 1 playstyle plus in this Evo, any card that you put into this Evo, even if it has no playstyle pluses, will end up with the Enforcer Plus playstyle on the card. And I don't think that's a playstyle that a lot of people want. I will say, I just started using the Adama Traore fantasy card yesterday for a few games in Rivals and Champs. And with the Enforcer Plus, Enforcer Base, and Bruiser Base, I know that's a very unique to this card, Enforcer actually is kind of usable. I know a lot of people that do like that playstyle, but for me, just with this Evo right here, I don't see a lot of hype with it, and I kind of agree with it being 96% downvoted unless you just want to try Enforcer Plus on a card. Now, I did come up with a bit of a crazy situation here. If you pick the Alex Jimenez card as an FPL Live upgrading fantasy card, there's maybe an opportunity to use this evolution, and maybe if there's another card that you see that fits this as well, you go ahead and do that. But the reason that you could put Alex Jimenez in this Evo is he gets the +10 physical, which is what you're after, right? You're after the stat boost. You get the Bruiser and you get the Enforcer Plus playstyle. But that Enforcer Plus playstyle, after he plays today, if he scores enough FPL points, according to the upgrade chart for these FPL Live cards, to get a second playstyle plus, that Enforcer Plus would be wiped away, and a new second playstyle plus, whatever his upgrade is, would replace it, but that'd be a playstyle plus for a right back, the enforcer, that you wouldn't mind getting overwritten with hopefully something better, like maybe a bruiser or maybe an interceptor, an anticipate, or a jockey at the very least. So that's a risk that you could take with Alex Jimenez or any of the other live cards that do fit in this evolution if you want a physical boost. I don't think Nunez or Kirkez fit for that though. I think it's just the Alex Jimenez. So that's kind of an interesting way, a bit of a risky way to go about things, but you could wait and see how well he performs today before deciding to do an evolution and doing that little chain right there. So I figured I'd just mention that because I think it's a bit of a 5-head play, but it may work out to create a pretty sick card. Now, yesterday's SBC content was actually kind of funny, not because of the Enforcer Plus and this Fulkrug, again, talking about that Playstyle Plus, but because EA had to take his dynamic image away from the card because they forgot to erase the AC Milan badge and all of the sponsors off of the kit because, of course, AC Milan is not a sponsored club in this game. They're Milano FC since EA don't have the rights to them, and EA messed up by showing an actual picture of Fulkrug without those logos taken off of his dynamic image. So now it's just his kind of normal face shot image here for the card that really just looks okay as well. If you're a Milan fan, you're probably getting this done for about 63,000 coins. Yeah, there's his old dynamic image still right there on Footbin, of course, showing the logo, which is probably not, appreciated by Milan since EA don't have their rights, but that's why they've taken it down now. So that SBC is only 63K. It is pretty cheap. Same thing with Wi-Fi Player of the Month. Maybe a fun SBC to do just because of the name. 83, 84, 85 rated squads, but 3-star skills for her in March. Maybe not the best there. 92 dribble and 93 pace. Maybe some cool evos can come out of that. I don't know if you really need Game Changer Plus. I think Game Changer base is good enough. But she does have low driven and finesse base as well. And the Enforcer. All about Enforcer right now in this game. But that's a pretty cheap SBC and one that probably a lot of people are skipping. The other SBCs we had yesterday were the player picks. It's nice to have the 81 plus player pick back for sure, even though I personally prefer the 79 triple upgrade. I've been doing these now for a couple of days. Instead of 81 plus picks, I feel like I get more 82s, 3s, and 4s. And I'm opening these right now because, like I said yesterday, I'm saving packs, but I'm opening the lower rated packs to still get some of that lower rated fodder in my club. And I just feel like the 79 triple gives me more. But if your account really loves the 81 pluses and you get good pulls from those, then keep doing them. We also had the 79 plus 5 of 10 player pick yesterday, which, to be completely honest, I never really get anything good from these, but I'm still trying them because I'm opening the daily gold packs and the upgrades and the provisions, and that's given me enough golds to at least try to hit something from those. Now, that was all of yesterday's content, but guys, the real content was the Foot birthday news, and it all started early yesterday with the leakers putting out the tweets. We knew that there was going to be some Foot birthday leaks, right? It all happened yesterday. It started off with FIFA Trading Romania putting a nice little chat GPT tweet out here. And really, nothing super crazy that we're learning about the promo here. Themed events, there's a couple that are already in the live events tab in the game if you want to go check those out. Cool SBCs, he said. We know which one of these is already. Actually, both of these we know now. Daily grind, that means we're probably getting a daily login pack and some other upgrades. Of course, Foot Birthday in the past has had a really good unlimited repeatable pack grind or close to unlimited repeatable. So fingers crossed for some more of that. And then this is what's a little cringe. Aura cards. He's showing Messi and Ilas, the Romanian right back with the spectacles there. We got to talk about this Messi here in just a little bit. Kind of a very interesting situation there with him. And at the bottom, he says, new heroes, new cards, and fans' favorite team with a Swedish, Croatian, and a Spanish flag. We'll actually see how those come into play in a minute. But just a few hours ago, we had Foot Sheriff leak the whole entire Foot Birthday Team 1. Now, he's posting this and saying stats are a prediction, but this is a huge team of players. It almost seems so big after taking a look at this that I'm wondering, is this team 1 and team 2 combined? But then I look at like the top row and I'm like, no, that's not good enough. I think this is just the full team of players coming into packs this Friday, guys, which is going to be incredible for packing promo cards, because it's probably going to feel like the pack weight's pretty decent, even if it's a lot of fodder cards, because there are just so many of these cards in packs. I can't believe how massive this team is. But I want to take a look at some of the player names that are in this. Lamine Yamal is getting another promo card. Cristiano Ronaldo. Dumornay is getting one as well. So is Valverde. He just had the star performers that was released in packs. Now, guys, the key to know with every single one of these cards, and confirmed by EA Sports themselves in the game, is every single card, icon, hero, and regular item is 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot. Yield these another card. Modric a card here. Jamie Vardy getting a card. Doku getting a card. You see Bethune in here, and here's where it gets interesting with the Messi and the Ronaldo. Yesterday, before the full team was tweeted, Foot Sheriff put out CR7 and Messi are coming as Foot birthday players soon, but he's showing Rayon Messi, the French bronze left mid, whose last name is Messi, but it's not Lionel Messi. Is EA trying to pull another trick on these leakers here, or what is going on with this? Like, he's showing Ronaldo, and Weaver with a funny response tweet here, Ronaldo Vieira. Imagine this is like the Sandro Tonali situation all over again with Messi and Ronaldo. I hope not, but you just never know. So that's one thing to kind of watch out for. I don't know what EA's cooking with that, but they're doing something. We got some other big names in here. Iñaki Williams, Carolyn Nicoli, Dante is getting a card. Rolfo is getting a card. Marcus Llorente, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Igor Thiago, Joelinton McCabe, and Bade, the French center back. Down another row, we have Harder, De Ketelera, Weir, Pacho with another card. He's going to be one to watch. Kobe Mainu getting another card as well. Eki TK with a promo. Marcelier from the Bundesliga 2, a very popular Evo card. Ivan Perisic is back. Alan St. Maximin is back as well. He might be one of the most exciting promo cards in this team. 5-star St. Max, of course, with the League One links, now playing for Lens. That's going to be a really hype card. That's the definition of a fan favorite returning, and a FIFA legend returning into a promo like this. I'd say Perisic is as well. And as we take a look at this bottom row, there's some interesting names in here even. El Yamik, Barcola is even in this promo team. Harry Wilson is in here. Ohio, I think... Is that Noah, Ohio? I'm pretty sure there was an objective card or some sort of card, or maybe it was Evos of him a while back that were kind of hype. Laporte, Mikel Merino, and even Pepe are hiding down here in the bottom left as players that are coming in this promo as well. So it is a massive, massive promo team, and I'm just very curious to see the official stats. Of course, you get a look at some of these players like Barcola. You're like, wait, why is Barcola hiding on the bottom here? You just don't know what his stats are going to be. You don't know what Perisic's stats are going to be. We have no clue who's going to be higher rated in this team. Yeah, I'm sure you can guess Ronaldo, Lamine, Dumornay, Fede Valverde, and stuff like that, but you don't know what an Igor Thiago is going to look like. All you know is 5-star is a guarantee for all of these cards. And also what's a part of this Foot Birthday promo are 3 new heroes. EA tweeted yesterday a graphic showing 3 new heroes that were coming to this promo, and it's already leaked. We've got Mandzukic, Barzagli, and Cambiaso all coming as new heroes. And it looks like in-game, one of them is an SBC, and it's Mandzukic. But Barzagli and Cambiaso are incoming. If you take a look in-game, you can see here on the loading screen, Barzagli is that center back, Italian hero with Anticipate and Long Ball Plus on his card. And then Cambiaso, I don't think they're showing his card here in the menus. Don't see a center defensive mid there in the hero. It's icons, heroes, and then regular cards. That's how that graphic kind of works right there. So I don't see a Cambiaso there, but he is getting a card. And then, of course, this was the tweet that confirmed Mandzukic is coming as an SBC. But that's not even the biggest SBC that is leaked, guys. Before we talk about that, though, do want to mention the icons that are on this screen right here. Of course, at the top there, you've got a striker, Swedish striker with finesse and technical. Now, if that's Zlatan, that's going to be crazy. I know Zlatan just had a Team of the Year icon, but also there's a couple other players who had Team of the Year honorable mentions like Pacho and Luis Diaz that are in the promo team. So it's not out of the question that Zlatan could be having another card. But that striker that's Argentinian up there at the very top is not Sergio Aguero. I believe that is Batistuta. New icon coming with this promo as well. Power shot and low driven. And then the center mid, I'm going to guess is Toni Kroos. German center mid with incisive and tiki-taka. but we will just have to see. So watch out for more leaks on the icons and of course official stats for all these cards. We do not know the official stats yet. That'll be the next biggest thing for the FUT birthday leaks in terms of the players. It's interesting, by the way, that they started out by talking about the players that are coming in packs and only a couple of the SBCs, because on this little loading screen right here, you see that little evolution thing at the bottom showing all the playstyle pluses in the game. I gotta wonder if that is the big new concept that the leakers were talking about a couple of days back related to FUT birthday. What is EA cooking with those playstyle pluses? I'm curious, EA, because you haven't nerfed playstyle pluses yet, so we're still really interested in them, and playstyle pluses matter a whole lot. And speaking of playstyle pluses that matter a whole lot, that's the reason that the big SBC this league so far is so good. Frankie De Jong, one of the best and most meta midfielders in this game, is coming as a FUT birthday SBC. So we have Mandzukic, we have De Jong, and we have one more that we're going to look at. But this is actually crazy. I think back to Gold De Jong, who I packed, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks into the game. And I almost forgot that I packed him. But after I remembered back to the beginning of the game, like, this dude was in everybody's team because he had the Tiki Taka Plus and the Incisive. And when he got his Joga Bonito card a couple of weeks later, this guy was everywhere as well. This card was upwards of like 700,000 coins with the Anticipate, with all the passing play styles, with the 5-star skills. And yet again, remember, this Frankie De Jong will be 5-star, 5-star as well. One of the best midfielders in this game. Links to the Cancelo that just came out. All the other Barca cards, men's and women's, that people are going to want to link him to. This card has a ton of hype, rightfully so. Now, we do not know what playstyle plus this is going to have. Ideally, we'd have either a Tiki Taka and an Incisive and an Intercept Plus on the card. We will just have to see. But 5-star, 5-star, the fact that it's Frankie De Jong with those stats, this card's going to be nuts. So we watch and we wait for official stats for this card. But that is the reason why you're seeing two things happen on the market. First of all, midfielders are dropping. Take a look at Seager, probably one of the other most hyped midfielders in the game. She's down from 1 million coins to 898k, and actually she was even a bit lower than that. If you take a look across the rest of the market, it's these types of box-to-box midfielders and even some center attacking mids, center defensive mids that are down in value as people are getting ready. Like this is the type of SBC that even 4 days before it releases, people are seeing the news and they're going and selling cards. Like, take a look at this Rodri, 560 for Rodri. I sold him at 660k on Friday night. Now, just a few days later, he's down to 565,000 coins. So I would be ultra careful with midfielders right now, center mids, center defensive mids, and maybe even cams, because they're probably going to drop even more throughout the rest of the week as people are expecting this SBC. Now, on the flip side, that SBC being leaked has made your fodder go up. You take a look at the 90 rated cards. Like, we were talking about investing these cards on Saturday and Sunday, and here we are in Jude Bellingham going from 17k Saturday morning all the way to 23k early yesterday as all the hype for these SBCs was dropping. Even take a look at 89s. They're about 13,000 coins. 91s had the craziest rise. 44k for Salah. Yesterday, he started the day at 35, spiked to 44 after the De Jong leak. And I mean, like we talked about in yesterday's video, this makes sense that the high-rated cards are moving as much as they are because we saw how high these went during Team of the Year. These were at 100,000 coins because there's not as many higher-rated cards. Slower power curve this year, whatever you want to call it. There's not as many higher-rated cards that EA has made available for packs. So when they put out higher-rated SBCs, and when they need to put out an SBC that's worth 1 million coins or more, which I'm going to be completely honest, I have to imagine this De Jong is at least 1 million coins if he's going to be 5-star, 5-star, and it's going to be pretty juiced. How are they going to get the SBC to be 1 million coins without, requiring high rateds? They're going to have to require a ton of squads, and nobody likes to do 40 squads of an SBC. We've seen that before, and that's just like crazy, right? So with fodder being as cheap as it is, I have to imagine they're going to go for higher ratings, which is why these cards probably aren't the greatest of investments now. But if you did invest on the weekend, you're sitting pretty. I think 89s at 12k are still investable. I think today they're going to go up a little bit more. Maybe they clear 13, maybe they get close to 14,000 coins because nobody's going to be opening packs. everybody is going to be saving packs. And once we get to Friday night, then all of that craziness is going to unleash. There may be another buy window on Friday night. We'll be watching that, of course, as the week goes on. But that's kind of the situation with fodder. Now, I want to talk about Team of the Weeks. I think they're investable still as well. Even at 11,750 coins, this is a 2 to 3 week investment max, because at some point during Foot Birthday, I have to imagine informs would at least go to 15K again, at least 15,000 coins. You'd have to imagine. It doesn't look like we're getting a best of re-release. I know that was a question some people were asking based on this fan favorite team. I don't think that's what's happening here. I think the fan favorite cards that FIFA Trading Romania is mentioning were those players like Rolfo, Marcus Llorente, and the Modric Croatian flag in that little text down there. I think that's what that is. I don't think that's a re-release. At first, I saw that and I was like, wait, re-release? But no, I don't think that's happening. So I think informs are pretty safe to invest in, because it's just going to be another time with a lot of SBCs. Foot Birthday last year brought us daily evolutions and daily SBCs, and I think at least one of those two things is very possible again. So I like the inform investment on your 12,000 coins. Now, speaking of SBCs, one last thing is we do have a Gelson Martins that is leaked. Tough to link. Totally understand that. But he's 5-star, 5-star. And this is the perfect type of Foot Birthday SBC that is dirt cheap. Anybody remember FIFA 22 Ricardo Quaresma? I actually had to look back in time. And as I was remembering a Foot Birthday Quaresma SBC that had Liga Portugal links that was 72,000 coins in FIFA 22. And he was one of the most hyped SBCs of that year. That Gelson Martins is kind of an OP FIFA legend, kind of like Quaresma, right? Hopefully that card is cheap, because he will need some Portugal chemistry links from somewhere to be able to have chemistry in a team. So that's another SBC that is leaked. Continue to watch for the leaks, guys, especially related to the Evos. I mean, I got to imagine soon that these leakers are going to start talking about what is going on with the whole evolution, new concept thing that they're talking about, and maybe even EA themselves, as they've already started posting a loading screen, which is crazy early for them to be posting a loading screen right now. Maybe they're going to start, you know, divulging some more information about what evolutions during Foot Birthday are going to look like. Of course, if we do think back to last year, a lot of 5-star skills and 5-star weak foot boost, which was great. Now, let's take a look at the market, as I'm kind of doing right now with some of these knockout royalty cards, because with Foot Birthday incoming, especially after today, I think the market is going to start to slow down. And I think you're still going to be able to trade here or there, but it's going to be a lot more risky, which is why you see me right now sitting on most of my coins, only having 2 Adama Traore fantasy cards in my club as even kind of short-term flip investments. Guys, if you wanted to buy something right now for your team, I would just kind of tell you to wait, because right now the whole entire market seems to be going down. Not crazy, but I think it's not going to go up that much, because right now everybody's just waiting for Foot Birthday to buy cards. So I would not be buying cards right now. I'd be waiting for prices to drop a bit more. And the cards that are going up on the market are the cards that are getting upgrades. And when the whole entire, like we said this yesterday too, when the whole entire market is dropping, yet there are some cards that are going up, what does that tell you? People are investing in those cards that are going up, and probably just inflating their prices based on the fact that these cards are getting live upgrades. That is why I would highly recommend to sell in the hype once again on even the Impacts Fantasy FC2 cards, specifically the ones that are getting upgrades today. I mean, look at Wanyeris, 335. That's actually really low. He was upwards of 400,000 coins yesterday. Yeah, 412. And after content, look at the amount of crashing that this card has had. Now, is this due to him, you know, being in pack still? Could he rise back up again today before his upgrade? He absolutely could. But that's what I want to start transitioning into talking about for the end of the video here, is fantasy upgrades that are happening today. Selling in the hype on these cards is probably the best idea, because after the panic starts on even some of the cards that are out of packs, Bruno Fernandes, yeah, sure, he's 2 million coins. He's getting a triple upgrade today, but he got one more upgrade after this. There's not a lot of hype left for him. Same thing with this Joao Felix. I get it. He's getting another upgrade. He's almost max price. That is a ridiculous price for a card that was 2 mil last weekend. please sell some of these cards. In my opinion, they have gotten up way, way, way too high in price for the way the rest of the market looks right now. And I do imagine a lot of them are going to drop after the upgrades, which are happening today. Once again, if you didn't remember, last week we had the first set of fantasy upgrades. It was about 10 minutes before the content drop on Tuesday. So watch cards like Joao Cancelo getting a +1 overall. Of course, watch the Bruno, watch the Daniel Malen, the Semenyo, and all the other players that are set to be getting upgrades today. Lewandowski will be on that list as well. Watch out for those cards, and if you have them tradable, I would highly recommend selling in the hype. And, you know, if you wanted to risk it on a Team 2 fantasy card, you could. Like, I mean, hey, there still are players from this team that look kind of low. Like, Gauntlet dropped off a ton, but that's because Madrid lost yesterday, right? 1-0. If there's like a Premier League card in here that has a midweek game that you want to maybe invest in for a little bit of risk, you could go ahead and do that. But personally right now, I am steering clear of all the fantasies. I'm steering clear of most of the market in general, just to be safe before the big promo of Foot Birthday. So watch out again today for those fantasy FC upgrades. And then, of course, as we already mentioned, today on Tuesday is a huge day because there's Premier League games for the live FC Fantasy Live FPL cards, whatever they're called, right? These players here from the Rush Objective. If you haven't got it done, make sure you go and play 2 games and just pick 2 of these cards. And the real question that I have about these cards today is how fast is EA going to upgrade them, right? We've got Alex Jimenez playing for Bournemouth Brentford. We've got Dewsbury Hall for Everton Burnley, Brendan Aronson for Leeds Sunderland, and Kirkes for Liverpool Wolves. We're going to know how many FPL points they score by the end of the match or maybe an hour afterwards, depending on whether the bonus points count or not. And then that's going to, of course, determine how many upgrades they get. And that's huge, right? Because, of course, once we know how many upgrades they're going to get or how much of an upgrade, then you can decide whether or not you want to evolve the card with evos that are currently out and maybe try to make your card look even better after it gets a boost. Or you can say, nope, I'm going to wait and see what happens and then evo the card if you want to go the safe route there. But make sure you keep an eye on those games today. We'll be very curious to see how fast EA update those cards too. I don't imagine it's going to be super quick, but we will have to keep a close eye out. Now, other content today on Tuesday. Guys, our upgrade pack, our favorite upgrade pack, is expiring today. The 83x14 goes bye-bye. And I hope we don't just get one pack to replace this. Like, I hope that the 8314 refreshes. I also hope we get like an 85x3, an 86x3, or some other sort of pack that we can start to stack for Foot Birthday, because we want to have as many packs as possible for Foot Birthday, right? And if EA do that, I think that's an even better opportunity for low-rated fodder to move. 85s, if you're looking for an investment right now and you're sticking around to the end of the video, 1.6 to 1.7K, stock up, because we got the provisions packs that are incoming or that are still out, and then we got new upgrade packs today that could make these cards go up in the next couple of days. I highly recommend getting involved in those. I like Informs and 85s the best right now out of the fodder that we do have. So watch out for any more upgrade packs that could be releasing today. And then, of course, probably still a player SBC. Kokchu and Anton still have not been released yet. And if you look in game, you know, it's saying here that the Fantasy FC Carlos Puyol is out. No, he's not out. There is no Puyol in game at the moment. And there's Fulkrug's dynamic image. They haven't taken him off that screen there either. So probably a player SBC today, maybe another small evolution, maybe not. We will just have to see. And then everything else should be as per for a Tuesday today on this game. Of course, we're expecting more Foot Birthday leaks, so be watching out very closely for those. And if we do get them and when we do get them, we will be talking about them in the Twitch stream today. So if you're not followed up on the Twitch, or if you want to come back by here on YouTube around content time, we'll be discussing everything that you got to know for what is going down in the next couple of days from what we learn today with the leaks. But if you enjoyed this video and if you're excited for Foot Birthday, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video if you can, and of course subscribe if you're new. Comment down below if you have any questions. I'll get into some of you guys' answers down there, and I'll see you guys in a stream today. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.